body bags were horror lies.
Hello, welcome to Body Bags. My name is James and I'm your Sunday night reviewer. And for the end of our theme week, where it is only the male that survives, I decided to bring you the original, when was it, 1979? Mad Max, the Australian dystopian action thriller / horror. Yeah, it definitely has horror elements to this one. By, of course, George Miller, the great George Miller. And with a starring role, I believe the first, for Mel Gibson. But anyway, so we are in a kind of a dystopian, not quite wasteland. It's nothing like Fallout. No, I'm referencing that now. I'm referencing the game because obviously I think there's a TV series. Well, there is a TV series. I haven't seen it yet, but that's been doing particularly well. Yeah, maybe I have to check it out at some point on Prime. But yeah, this is a kind of dystopian Australian future. So everything is pretty much in collapse. It's oil prices are crazy. I don't think there's much work around. The planet's been ravaged because it's not been looked after by people, kind of one of those things. And we actually follow the law enforcement in this town. So there's a it's not quite a normal police force that you would imagine. Some interesting outfits. Anyway. But what we do, we catch up with them at the start. They are chasing this guy called the Night Rider. He was very keen to say that on his CB radio. He's driving with his girlfriend. He's basically being chased by the police. He's part of this bikie gang. But anyway, like he's being chased. And Max chases him and then mentioned to get him to basically crash his car, and Knight Rider and the girlfriend perishes. So then we kind of have a look in the garage. We go back to the police station a little bit later and you see there's this big huge V8 Pursuit police car, and it's like especially for him. Kind of the conversation is going that he's basically the best policeman there is. He's the best pursuit officer that they have. Obviously, you can see it's like everything is kind of ruled on the road sort of thing. So if you're a good pursuit police officer, you're kind of one of the best. You always bike gangs and car gangs and stuff like that. Obviously, everything is fought, as we find out, especially like when we see the second and the third. Every Mad Max after the first. It's very much the main collateral for the kind of the gold of the world is fuel. But yeah, so Max, they're trying to convince him because he wants a bit of time off. He wants a bit of time off. He wants to actually retire. They convince him to have a little bit of time off, so he goes off and has some time. But so you get Knight Rider's gang come back, and we have Toe Cutter and Bubba, and so they're going a bit crazy in the town, and there's kind of harassing people, attacking people, stealing fuel and stuff like that, and just being a bit of a shit show. That they actually managed to catch one of the gang, and it's like one of the important members of the gang. It's Johnny the boy, his name is. So they arrest him, but there is still like a court of law, and he goes up, and basically no one comes to like testify against him, so he gets off. Yeah, and like Goose is like probably kind of Max's best friend. It's kind of maybe how we're led to believe he's like the other good police officer here, and another pursuit officer. So he rides a bike, and like Max has the car. Anyway, so he's getting all feisty with this Johnny the boy and sort of thing, and they're all kicking off. But then we start to follow Goose a little bit. Then he goes to this nightclub, hooks up with this kind of strange-looking woman. She's singing. She's got the hots for him. He's got the hots for her. So. And so while he's in bed with her, he has his bike. I think it's Johnny the boy that basically sabotages his bike, so he has this really bad high-speed crash. But he's actually okay. But then he manages to get hold of this pickup truck, to go and pick up the bike, and then he's kind of doing this weird singing. That's a terrible effort. Anyway, he's doing this weird singing. He's like driving back to the base, and he gets back attacked by the bike again. They chuck something through his windscreen, and he like flips the car. And you have Toe Cutter. He's egging on Johnny the boy to basically throw a match on the truck on this ute, because it's petrol pouring everywhere, and he does. And he basically crispy fries old Goose, but not to death. He's still alive, and he gets taken to the hospital, where Max sees him and he just can't handle it. So he's given time off. So he takes his family, so his wife and his young son, and they kind of they go off. They go on a trip together just to get away from everything. But it's in this old like van, and it gets a flat tire, and so they go. The wife and the son, I think they go and get some ice cream or something like that. But anyway, it happens to be where the biker gang is, and they're like being a real nuisance towards her and stuff like that. But they manage to kind of escape. It kind of all kicks off, and they manage to escape to some friends on this farm. But they're chased down, and so the Max is off doing his thing. His wife and the kid, they're running down a road, and it's a kind of iconic scene where they kind of get run over by all the motorbikes, and so he loses his child and his wife. So it's just Max snaps at this point. So it's kind of the Max that we know throughout the other movies. He's kind of like emotionally switched off, kind of sort of thing. Anyway, he goes back and gets his car, his police car, and so he goes chasing them. And actually, pretty quickly, he manages to flip the car and crash. And there's another scene where he's trying to get hold of his shotgun after his crash. He's crawled out the car and it right over his arm. A pretty cool scene. Yeah, so they probably break his arm actually when they drive over it. But he gets his shotgun, and he shoots Bubba at some point. He shoots him with his shotgun, and so it's kind of like the main ones which are left. You got Toe Cutter and Johnny the boy left. But he manages to get to a car, and he chases Toe Cutter, and so you get this famous scene where he's chasing him in his bike, and he goes over the brow of this hill, and he's like full on with a truck, and his eyes popping scene. It's quite a well-known scene. And then right at the kind of like our last part of the movie, Max manages to chase down Johnny. He's in a really vulnerable position. He's kind of there. It's like he's basically probably killed this guy, crashed his truck. He's stealing his boots, and Max handcuffs him. handcuffs him by his leg to this car, and he sets this kind of this bomb, this fuse, because it's fuel is leaking everywhere, and he uses Johnny's lighter, and he gives him a hacksaw, kind of like from the movie Saw. Maybe it got where it's like there, and it's like, he's saying something about the amount of time that he has, and it's like the amount of time it's going to take to cut through his leg, and then he just like walks off to the cries of Johnny begging for his life, and then we don't see what happens, but the car explodes and Max drives off, and that's the end of our movie. This is such a superb movie. I love everything about this one. I think from the original trilogy, kind of making the assumption and leading towards that maybe the more popular one is Road Warrior, the second one, but this has always been like my favourite by quite a way. It's like I do enjoy like the others. I even enjoy like Thunderdome, but like Road Warrior is really good. But I just love all the characters in this one. It's a little less on the action. It's a little more steeped in reality. It's a little less wasteland kind of thing. But it's like the earlier part of like how the world is, and obviously the second one it's like really falling apart, and especially the third one, and all the Fury Road, and maybe probably Furiosa, like how all those are. So this is the one where it's closest in touch with like how things are today, sort of thing. But it's a super enjoyable movie, and like I said, I like the characters. I like how it's all filmed. There's really iconic scenes where Miller was like honing his skills and his talents, and yeah, it's just a fantastic movie. I imagine most people have watched this one, and I can imagine it's a favourite of many people. If you haven't, I would highly recommend you check this out. Anyway, that's another review. I'll catch you guys on Tuesday, because that will be my new day. Alright then, thanks very much, bye bye.